All right, Shalom, my account. The high spirit wind lawyer of the GMS Mississippi camp, giving out honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, and today I want to go into something that was in my spirit, man. Something that I checked myself with, and I just had this reality check because I believe the number one virtue in this physical world is discipline. I mean, from a spiritual perspective, from a biblical perspective, it's faith. Of course, you got to have faith, right? That's in the scriptures, man. The most powerful thing to have is faith. But when it comes to handling yourself in Babylon, and I do speak as a man, my personal opinion, when it comes to handling yourself in Babylon, managing yourself, man, number one thing is discipline. And that helped me realize that you are in control of you. You are in control of you. Babylon can put all type of vices in your face. Babylon can put donuts in your face, burgers in your face, 304s in your face. He could entice you with death, but it's still in your power to partake in death, man. Even when it comes to the laws, your flesh was created for sin, for sure. But you don't make a mistake and commit adultery. You don't make a mistake and be a mo. You see, you don't make a mistake and eat pork. But to me, sometimes you do, because Esau sneaks certain things in the ingredients. But you know what I mean. You didn't slip and fall, and a piece of bacon land in your mouth. You see. And one thing I've learned about just being an adult, one thing I know about being an adult, being a man, and you are in control of you. Now, if you want to get deep, Proverbs 20 and 24, man, don't get cute with me, man. Right? You are in control of you. You're in control of who you put your rod in. You're in control of what food you put in your mouth. You're in control of you. We have our temptations. We have our cravings. All right? And that's something that, a brother got to take with him, and I take with me. You're in control of you. I saw this one thing on social media on the timeline. He was like, I survived 3 baby daddies, 1 drug dealer, you just survived them niggas. You brought them niggas in your life, and you knew who they were when you found them, or they found you. So that's one thing about Babylon, man. Babylon does dangle the wrong shit in your face, but you are in control of you, man. All right? And that's called taking accountability, man. I have an interest in health. I watch a lot of health videos, and I get inspired when I see before and after Jake's before and after. Before they might have been overweight or obese, then a year later, they get cut all up and shit. You know what I mean? Where I see one thing that really inspires me is when I see older Jakes. It's like 56 years old, they cut up, because it destroys that mental block in my mind that once you old, you're old. You got some 50, 60-year-old Jakes that look better than us, man. And you got the apostles that age, and they look better than a lot of us, man. And they're just being real, Shalom, shalom, shalom. You see? So the book of Sirach, it really goes into discipline. The book of Sirach really goes into discipline on a personal level, outside of the laws of Moses. And we are in Rome. We are in spiritually Sodom and Egypt. We are in Babylon. And it's full of things that entice the flesh, for sure. It's more fast food joints than food markets, the farmers markets, and you never really see people promote farmers markets, but they'll promote fast food joints, man. Or when you was a little one, you know, let's say your mama took you to school, you missed the bus late, she was most likely gonna take you to McDonald's for breakfast. That's most of our mothers, because it was quick. You know, it takes a little time to prepare your meals, man. But I'm learning you're in control of all this shit. You're responsible for that shit, man. I watched a video, I shared it. This was months and months ago, but I can pull it back up, man. Oh, not if I don't want to tweet. But you know what this Jake said? He said that the first step is you have to cook all of your meals. He put emphasis on that. He said you have to cook all of your meals, man. You have to cook all of your meals. He was naming things like salmon and things of that nature. But there's power in home cooked meals, man. You know, you'll be surprised if you take certain food groups out your body, then you'll just lose weight. Certain people stopped drinking soft drinks, and that's what was holding them back. They was drinking soda, what they call soda pops drinks, and they'll stop drinking drinks. Because when I was young, I used to have acid reflux real bad. I'm like 10, 11 thinking I'm finna have a heart attack, but it was just acid reflux. But I let go of them sodas and them, you know what I mean, chips and stuff, especially them sodas. I haven't had it since. I used to go out and get Tom's, I think it's called Tom's medicine and shit. You'll be surprised how things like drinks is holding people back. Soft drinks and shit, man. You know? But you going on this journey of unplugging from sugar and processed food, ultra processed food, and you making it your business to prepare your meals. I don't know how much you brothers and sisters are into salads, but a salad is one thing that you could take to work, put it in the refrigerator, and don't have to warm it back up. You know? Smoothies are the same way, you know? But there's something that I've been dealing with lately. Like, you know what? I could put a salad in this little Tupperware, put it in the refrigerator, and I don't have to warm it back up. You see? You can just eat it as is. Fix it how you want to fix it. You know? Like the elder Apostle Bar said, find a diet that works for you and stick to it, man. But, you know, reflecting on myself as a man, and to be honest, reflecting on mistakes that I've made, you know, all that shit is rooted in discipline, man. You know, you create your guidelines and you stick to it, man. You have your flesh, you have your temptations, but at the end of the day, it's you that pulls the trigger on your actions, man. Remember that. It's you that pull the trigger on your actions, man. We ain't out here playing victim in that sense. And something our beloved elder Apostle Rakai said, yeah, we do know that Esau put these traps out here for Jake, man. But we believe you're supposed to overcome that shit, man. Even in the worldly sense, man, we got hurdles to overcome, man. And I speak on myself, man. I speak for myself, man. Certain things you say, well, I'm being tried, or is the Lord like, nah, you cause your own suffering, man. And you have a hurdle to get over, man. You know, you're in control of you. Yahweh Shai gonna deliver us ultimately if we stick to it. But when it comes to worldly affairs, man, you're in control of you, man. Like I said, I be immersed in that health world, man. I like that stuff, man. And one thing, it really boils down to discipline, man. Sometimes you're just gonna inevitably sick because you cannot control the environment. You cannot control what Esau is putting in the fucking air, what he's putting in your fucking plastic bottles, what he's putting in your food. You really can't control that, because even the so-called organic food is trash in America. But you could control what you can control, and you can control the fact that you can get the best of the worst. And your body does react differently to different things, man. Some jakes act like, nah, it's all poison. Like, no, man. Your body's going to react differently to different things. You got certain water that has a better effect on your body than others. I know a brother that every time I see him, he's drinking that Mountain Valley, right? As a matter of fact, I could tell this story because when I first saw this brother, all right, he was 200, maybe 30, maybe 40. He was a stocky brother, and this was like 2011. He's really an elder, right? Stocky brother, right? You know how Jake be like 230. You know what I mean? About 5'9", 5'10", 230, 240, maybe 240. He was a bigger brother, right? And over time, he was really into the health. He was always making smoothies and stuff, but his process got refined when he let go of sugar, starch, and dairy. He let go of sugar, starch, and dairy, man. And he basically exclusively drinks that Mountain Valley water, right? So he let go of sugar, starch, and dairy for years. Man, that brother's like 170. And if I see him in person, he'll correct me on the weight. But last time I checked, that brother's like 170, man. Mind you, he's like 5'10", so he looks lean. But not only does he look lean, that brother's glowing. That brother's like 46, 47 years old. He's glowing. Like he glowing, like he turned lights off and he's glowing. The elder brother Yashamai, you know, glowing. About 175, lean as fuck, glowing. Used to be a stout brother, glowing, man. He let go of sugar, starch, and dairy. Now, last time I checked, he'll eat like Ezekiel bread, you know what I mean? He'll eat something like that. But his main thing, I remember specifically, he let go of that sugar, starch, and dairy, and he exclusively, to my knowledge, drank that Mountain Valley, man. So that's just something to put out there for brothers and sisters, man. He let go of sugar, starch, and dairy, and he exclusively drank that Mountain Valley water. But and that brother went from like 230, 240 maybe. Then it's another brother that you familiar with him. If you watch Mississippi Camp, there's Ayash Amath. You know, Prisoners of Yahushai, GMS Kingdom Minded, GMS Prisoners of Yahushai. He was one of the brothers like me, just natural over 200 pounds, man. He might have been 230 too, you know, 230, maybe a little more, I can't remember. But I remember him saying he went on the Dr. Bobby Price cleanse. He went on that Dr. Bobby Price cleanse for like 2 weeks. Now that brother's like 185, another lean brother. You know how he get down in the spirit. And from me being around brothers, man, your diet affects your spirit. You know that, right? It affects if you're going to get certain revelations and all that, man. You know, among other things. But like that's another brother that went from the 200 plus 230 or whatever. And now brother's like 185, man. You know, and the last conversation we had was about keto, because me and him both was doing something similar to keto lately. But I'm just putting it out there, you know what I mean? Hey, Elder Kazak, the beloved Elder, he's always been health conscious. You know, I love a lot just watching how he moves with food, man. He's always been that health conscious brother, you know. You know, he got that natural lean physique, man. You know, but Elder Kazak, hey, what does that name Kazak mean? It means strong, man. And that brother's strong. That brother could bench something, man, and run miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, man. You know, Jake really blessed. You know, but one thing I know about him, from we living in the same apartment, and, you know, we've been around each other for years. That brother's health conscious, man. You know, you got brothers in the camp, Priest Abaya, man, consistently in the gym. Another brother that's mid-40s, it looked like he's 30. You know, but one thing about him and Captain Atazawan, you know, the brother that swole, dark-skinned brother that swole, they work consistently in the gym for well over a decade. You got certain brothers at GMS, they just been consistently in the gym for well over a decade, man. Well over a decade. And when it boils down to it, it boils down to consistency. Having a process that works, a food plan that works, and a workout routine that works, and pray for that discipline to have that consistency, man, because you are in control of you, man. You know? It sucks to be sick, man. Fuck that. It sucks to be sick, man. And some days I be feeling kind of woozy, right, on my way to work. But I stop by this gas station and I drink, I think it's like a pineapple turmeric shot. Turmeric and something else. It's like a little shot, you know, those little $4 shots. But it helps. You know? It helps. Intermittent fasting works, man. 1 meal a day works. You choose what works for you. You know, you gotta experiment. You know? But I hope this was of edification. I hope this helped brothers and sisters, man. You know? Yahweh Shai fed the masses with, was there fish and bread? A lot of the bread is garbage, but people still, you know, you still got that Ezekiel bread. But hey, that was out there eating that fish. You didn't feed them with church's chicken. You know? Well, that's pretty much the point, you know. I hope this was an edification. Once again, I want to give out honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chahakash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Baba Baba, come here, Shalom. This kingdom sucks, man.